Donald Trump warned Russian dictator Vladimir Putin today, make peace or I'll smash your economy, which to many people will seem a huge change, although we've predicted it here for a couple of months, as you know. General Jack Keane has also suggested. Donald Trump did promise last year that he's going to stop the war in Ukraine in 1 day. Well, that's because he got on so well with Russian dictator Vladimir Putin. Or that's at least what he told us. And people around Trump, like his son, one of his sons, was then saying, oh, it was going to dump Ukraine. His haters were saying he was in Putin's pocket, all that kind of thing. Yeah, well, reality has bitten. Trump has decided Vladimir Putin cannot be trusted. Vladimir Putin is a warmonger. And I think he's also a loser. Trump doesn't like them. And Trump hinted at this already yesterday, slamming Putin as a man who is leading Russia to disaster.
I think he's destroying Russia by not making a deal. I think Russia's going to be in big trouble. You take a look at their economy, you take a look at the inflation in Russia.
And today, as President, Donald Trump threatened Putin in a post on Truth Social. If we don't make a deal, he said, and soon, I have no other choice but to put high levels of taxes, tariffs and sanctions on anything being sold by Russia to the United States and various other participating countries. Let's get this war, which would never have started if I were president, over with. We can do it the easy way or the hard way. Joining me is Tomi Lahren, a Fox News commentator and host of Tomi Lahren is Fearless. Great title for a show, which you can see on Outkick. Tomi Lahren, great to see you. Thanks for coming on. I don't know what sanctions Donald Trump can impose on Russia the US hasn't hit it with already, but he sounds like he's a man determined to make Putin pay if he doesn't make the peace that Trump promised.
Well, right. Well, I think that the most important thing here is we finally have a man back in the White House that projects strength. And you can have a peace through strength when you have a commander-in-chief who is both respected and feared around the world. Of course, respected by our allies and also feared by our enemies. And listen, Donald Trump has a good relationship with Vladimir Putin. We know this. And I think Vladimir Putin respects him. And Vladimir Putin clearly did not respect President Joe Biden. So there's going to be something to be said about sanctions and other things that can be done to apply pressure. But there's a lot of other things that President Donald Trump can do, not only in regards to Russia and Ukraine, but also the Middle East and the rest of the world for that matter. And that's also in terms of making the United States of America energy independent and also exporting our energy for the world to use so that nations aren't as reliant on Russia for that energy and those needs, but also just projecting the strength and understanding that we finally have a leader of the United States of America that not only is going to make the rest of the world pay their fair share, but also is going to apply pressure where needed to get the results that he's looking for. And if his first couple of days in office are any indication of how the next 4 years are going to go, I think that the world and our allies are in for a real treat.
I think the point you make about the oil and the gas is absolutely spot on, because if he can undercut Russia on that, I think what he wants is Putin's not his respect, but he wants Putin to fear him a bit. And I think that would be a huge change. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is showing the rest of the West how to get serious about illegal immigration. As you know, this is a hot issue through so many Western countries. It's like they're paralysed. What can we do? Nothing. But it's not only done that, it's now freezing the entry of people already accepted to the US as refugees. What's the thinking there?
Well, listen, the CBP-1 app, if that's what you're referring to, is essentially invasion on demand. It was an app that was created under the Biden administration to fast-track the mass parole of illegal aliens that they simply recategorized as migrants or refugees. But really what it was is just fast-tracking the illegal immigration process. A lot of these individuals would just come into our country and they would disappear in plain sight into our communities, oftentimes costing a lot of money, resources, time, energy. And it simply was unsustainable. And Donald Trump understands that. He understands that the American people gave him a mandate to make sure that the invasion at our southern and northern borders ends under his administration. And he's taking the necessary steps to do that. Listen, Joe Biden allowed a free-for-all for 4 years, 10 million plus illegal aliens into this country, no matter if you want to call them asylum seekers, migrants, refugees, undocumented, newcomers. It doesn't matter. The simple fact is the United States of America, like many other nations around the world, simply cannot sustain millions of of people funneling through an open border. Donald Trump vowed to end it, and that's exactly what he's doing. It's not going to make some folks feel nice, but it's what needs to be done to undo what has been done the last 4 years under Joe Biden.